Hello and welcome to the video. You can like, share and subscribe to the channel. Much appreciate it. Liking helps the algorithm. Sharing gets in front of people's faces and subscribing lets me know you like the channel. We are like 2 or 3 away from this going orange. I think I put a community post on what the hair colour will look like. It basically look like that pan there. So we're in the kitchen this time because I've got little and he's playing in there. He's having a good time. But also, just a quick one. He's at a stage where he's now learned how to climb, so I'm a little bit terrified. But he's okay, he's all fine. So, Sheffield Wednesday are close to getting their 7th signing of the summer. 7. This time last year, we only had Marvin Johnson and Reece James. So we're about to get our 7th signing, which we know who this is going to be. It's going to be James Beadle. It's been talked about already. It sounds like it's imminently ready to get done and be a Wednesday player again. And you know what? This makes a lot of sense. He came in January last year, did really well. 19-year-old did amazingly. We're just sorting out the detail to be ironed out and get things sorted, and a lot of that detail with Brighton. That's a lot of things to do with the EFL, Premier League and stuff like that, because it's a loan, but it's gonna be another loan for the entire season. So that would mean we've got Harmer, Charles, Hall now, because Hall signed a contract now. So you've got that situation. Where does this leave someone like a Pierce Charles, let's say? 18, 19, same age, probably not in the same bracket of what that Beadle is. Let me just check on my son. He's fine. He's just banging stuff. And it's just that whole thing where you look at what he's doing and look at how he's getting on in his progression. Charles will probably be a bit gutted, but I think he'll understand it as well. When Beadle came in last January, he made that position his own. He played really well, and he made us go, okay, the keeper there. He was a bit shaky at first, and I think we all agreed he was a bit shaky, and we could have, were like, oh, what have we done? We should have kept Vasquez. But that's not the case at all. It looked very much like Vasquez when we got Beadle in, and Beadle made a big difference. He made it quite so. He pulled off some very crucial saves, which no one really talks about, and I really wish they would, because he pulled off some great saves in games and kept us in games as well. And you think about what Beadle is he's a 19-year-old keeper. He's got a very, very bright future ahead of him. I can see him getting snapped up by a bigger team than Brighton one day, maybe a top 6 team, if he keeps doing what he's doing and plays in the Prem. I think there's a real talent here, and for us to not take him and utilise him would be daft. We got to take the opportunities where we can, and that means if we're going to take opportunities in him, that means we've got to take the loan. And a season-long loan means we've got a lot more things. There'll be things that'll be ironing out in terms of, is there a recall in January if they need a keeper situation? Is there what's going on? There could be something with their new manager turning around and say, hey, this is what I want you to go do. Go from there. And you got to think they've got the loan manager as well, who will do a lot of things talking about how he got on. But again, they will be very happy with how he was at Wednesday and that he got the game time and played really well. So I think that's going into their mind with this a little bit as well, is that they are wanting to keep players there who are wanting to play football, get going. And I think that's something that's huge about this deal. In a Brighton sense, he's going to have a full season out on loan at one club, where last season he was at Oxford, did really well there, then came to us for the second half of the season. So I think it's really smart by us to get him on another loan. I do want another permanent keeper in if we are going to do that route, because it does leave us in the position next year. Who is then our number one? Are we going to be looking at them promoting, say, Pierce Charles if he goes out on loan? Where does that put Charles now? I think Charles is due a loan. He's got to have a full season playing first team football. He can't just keep being a bit part for the first team and just doing under 21s. He needs to go out and be a first team keeper for a team in League 1 or League 2 and just get that experience. He's already got international call-ups, which help. But James Beadle looks like it's very close to being done. We're just waiting on finalisation of things. Could that be tonight? Maybe. Could it more likely be tomorrow? Yes. Then we'll see what else we have got to do and who else is coming in. Because so far, if that's 7 and he wants double finger figures by Monday, because that's when we go to St. George's Park, we got, what, 8, 9, 10, to potentially 3 more players to come in. Is that an Ugbo? Is that a Pervader? Is that someone we haven't heard of who hasn't been sorted? Yes, I agree, Hunter. So let me know what you think. Who do you think could be the next player after Beadle? Are you happy with James Beadle coming back as well? Are you at the mindset I kind of got a little bit that we need to have a permanent keeper eventually, but is this just a stopgap while we build Pierce Charles to be that number 1 down the line? That's what I kind of think it is. I actually do think it's a case of we want Charles to be our number 1 in a couple of years' time, but right now it's not right for him. So we're going to loan a keeper in who's already worked with Sal and has already known the infrastructure because he was here last season. I do think this is the stopgap to go let Charles go develop, and then we'll look at Charles again next season and go, are you ready to be a number 1 for this club? Which I think that makes sense. If that's the route we're going in, then fantastic. I'm all for it. Let's go for it. Crack on. Get him in. Let's go and get him in the squad and see what he does. But James coming back makes a lot of sense, though. He's already integrated into the team. The back 4 is looking like it's going to be the same pretty much, which is very handy for us. We know he can play out from the back with his feet, which is another plus. And you just got to look at this as progression. It's another player in. It's another loan. That puts... This is our first loan, I believe. Because the rest have been free agents, haven't they? So this is our first loan of the season. And I believe you can have 5 loans in a squad. So it wouldn't surprise me if the midfield section is loans from the Prem. And of course, the Premier League loans are going to take a lot longer. They're going to be waiting to see who comes back off Euros, see who's in and around that. And then they'll make their decision if there's a player that they go, right, we got this player in, we're going to send him out on loan. There's still no word on what's going on with Charlie McNeil, but that sounds like that could be close as well. So that could be your 7 and your 8 signing right there. But right now, once Beadle comes in, there'll be the usual video of me going, here he is, he's back at the club, and we'll see how he gets on. But he had a good season last season in the second half of the season, so let's see where he fits in, see where Danny's thinking, and the more players that start to come in, we're starting to build that bedrock of the team. We're starting to build from the defence, it looks like it pretty much sorted. Up top needs people. Attacking mid and wingers, that seems to be sorted now. It's midfield, two centre mids, a defender, and 2 more strikers. And I think that's it. I think that's all we need left. If you think there's any other position I've missed out, let me know. But yeah, Beadle to come back